Meow. Meow. Good morning, Janine. Yes, happy Sunday. Always a good thing. First day of the weekend. No, it's been really hot last week or so. However, we got supposedly a row of storms coming in over the next couple of days starting tonight. So fingers crossed. They were saying on the radio this morning just maybe a chance of rain tonight, but the Weather Channel is showing like 50%. That's significant. So, although it's going to probably happen really late at night, so I might miss it. Although one of the advantages of storms in Texas is they tend to make themselves known. It isn't just some gentle rain, it's usually a lot of lightning and thunder associated with it. So it's kind of hard to sleep through that. And who'd want anyway, right? You just know this guy's thinking, looking at me and saying, yeah, he's talking to that thing again. He's crazy. There's nobody here. Who's he talking to? He doesn't care though, as long as the head scratches keep coming. I worry about that too. I got three pecan trees in the front yard, and they seem to do all right though. Every once in a while, they'll lose a medium-sized branch, but they seem to be pretty flexible. That actually was kind of scares me because they are so flexible. When I get up on the ladder, they start swaying in the breeze. Hey, Lindex. Yeah, all my trees seem to be leaning away from the house, so that's a good thing. In fact, I look at it too. It doesn't even look like it's leaning towards my neighbor's house. It looks to me, if I lost any of the big trees in the front yard, they just end up in the street. That may then it's the city's problem. Hello, Gene. That's a good question about the insurance. You'd think it'd be your neighbor's insurance because it's their tree. And I think ultimately you're responsible for maintaining any vegetation on your property. If some of your vegetation damages your neighbor's house, I'm not tired of the attention yet. I'm a little upset with me because I discontinued it for about 10 seconds. I don't know. I think that's kind of a state to state thing, Lindex, but I think usually if it's hanging on um, your side of the tree or your side of the property, you can tear it off. You can take it down. I believe that also works with like fruit trees and stuff like that. If you got a neighbor that's got a fruit tree that's hanging in your yard, you could it's basically your fruit. Yeah, depending on how big the tree is, that could be an issue. Like I said, I'm happy the ones I have are all kind of leaning away from the house. No, I've been thinking about having a service come out and neaten them up a little bit, though. A lot of times, nature trims the trees. I get some. I've had some decent branches come out of there off of that tree. Yeah, I love the fact that I have five big trees in my yard, three in the front, two in the back. They create a great canopy out there. And it's my understanding the pecan trees in the front yard are native to the area. They were here before the house was, so that's kind of cool. No, I haven't had a whole lot of the fudge yet. I did that like on the last day before my weekend was up. So my eating habits are kind of weird during my work week. You know, I have something for breakfast, I have lunch at work, and usually that's it. but it's all wrapped up and in the fridge. So yeah, I'm not really a bring food to work kind of person. The truth is, we have a cafeteria on property, and the it's actually been closed for about 6 months while they're remodeling it. And so I've been kind of going out and getting getting some of the local like fast food places for lunch lately. Yeah, I really love the big trees and the shade they provide on my house too. I think it does a world of good with the heat from the sun. It's funny. I was looking at some old street view pictures of my house from just a few years ago, and apparently there was another tree in the front yard too, but it's gone. Weird. I don't know if they took it down or if it came down or I hope we get some showers. We're supposed to get some rain over the next few days, so that'll be nice. This is my weekend. There's nothing better than sitting on the patio, and watching a rainstorm. Doesn't get any better than that. I think the pecan trees are natural. I think they were just natural to the area. There seem to be a lot of just pecan trees in the area. So, like I said, they predate the house. So, yeah, yeah, I can hear the rain hit the roof when it rains. But sometimes I'll sleep right through it. But see, that's the advantage. Rainstorms here in Texas aren't just calm rain, it's lightning and thunder. So I'll hear it coming from a distance. I wish there was more windows in this house. And I think part of the problem is when I go down the hall there, I keep the master bedroom window door closed, and I keep the guest bedroom door closed to keep the cat out because I don't want cat hair all over everything. And that's a lot of like natural light that maybe could get into the house that doesn't. But yeah, I wish there was more windows. The back of the house is really dark. It'd be nice, for instance, if there was a window on this wall somewhere. That would let so much light in here. But you turn off the lights and it gets dark in here. The most light comes from behind us in the kitchen because there's the doors have the door going into the backyard has windows on. You can see the window over here. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not a real weatherman. And there's also the one in the kitchen here. And so that lets decent light into the kitchen. But short of the two windows kind of behind me right now, or in front of me, behind the camera, um, there's no other windows in the house, and so it's a little dark. Um, well, the one thing that would be an issue is that's pointing right at my neighbor's house. And so I'd always be looking out the window at the side of their house. And so I don't know. That's major reconstruction, though, when you start talking about putting windows in. I mean, I think we've talked about this. Somebody suggested putting like ceiling lights in. The let sunlight in from above. And I've thought about that too. But yeah, I don't know. I think part of the issue also in the front is that I kind of like privacy, so I have blinds on there, so those are usually closed. I don't know if you remember when I went to this is something I've been thinking about for a while. When I went to the Homestead Heritage Village a year ago for like the Sorghum Festival, and I went into that glass place, and they had that beautiful. I think it looked like stained glass. It was almost like flame colors, and it looked like flame in the wind in the glass. And I was thinking if I can get them to make some of the custom of those for these windows in the front here, that then I could get the privacy I want and still get the light in here, and they look fantastic. But seeing the price of the windows he had, which were just this big, I can't imagine how much it would cost to do those windows in front of the house. Probably a little above my budget. No, I prefer the old fashioned books. I wouldn't want to have all my books in one place and then oops, I lost it. Hey, Rhonda's here. Now we get Dr. Susan to show up again. You missed Dr. Susan last week, Rhonda. She popped in the last like 10 minutes or so. Now I could kind of take the rest of the live stream off here. Rhonda will just carry the thing. I have been thinking about getting the bike fixed up. I've been thinking about getting a new GoPro too. I can't get my current GoPro to talk to my camera or to my cell phone. That's a drag, Rhonda. No fun when the surgeries don't go well. I know I ran into the same thing. My mom had her knee replaced a few years, well, probably about 10 years ago. And the first surgery didn't go well. And they had to remove it and then put another one in. She never walked again. Wow, that's bad. No, I'm not really into the electric bikes. I like the exercise. That's the purpose of taking a bike, is getting the exercise. Jeez, Rhonda, you've had quite a couple of weeks then, huh? Hi, Logan. Mom lets you have the keyboard, huh? Can't imagine playing with technology at this age when I was her age. Your dog has a birthday. When's your dog's birthday? Was 6, huh? That's nice. And Boo is a year old. Okay. I guess that's right. That's about when you got Boo, isn't it? Got her a bark collar. Okay. Got to do that sometimes. Does your dog like to bark? I think every dog I ever had liked to bark too. She's got a loud bark, huh? Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, all I get is Bite going around here doing his thing. And Flash is good. I haven't seen Flash in a couple of days, but oh, she doesn't bark when it has a service vest on. Okay, cockatiels can talk. Oh yes, Bite loves to purr. He's a purr machine. Bite went back to his room. Let's see if we can coax him out here. That doesn't work. It'll coax all your pets out, right? Yeah, there he is. Hey, bite. Now, whether he'll come all the way over here or just sit down like he usually does. Usually keeps shaking the treat jar, though, that he keeps his focus. What? Well, he's halfway out here. I don't know. Maybe he'll make a visit yet. You have a pet named Fangs? How awesome is that? Is Charlotte being bad? I don't know. You can carry on the conversation though, right, Logan? You gonna come up and visit? Meow? Is that a yes or a no? That's funny. Come on, Bite. Your audience awaits. Here he comes. Now he's thinking about it. Yep, there he is. I bet you we're gonna have to get you your own YouTube channel here so you can just talk all you want here. Yeah, except he's not a baby anymore. He's older than you are, Logan. It would be great to put a camera in there, wouldn't it, Lindex? Yeah, this your baby Bite here is very old too. All right, are you live streaming or is they just security cameras? Live stream to the internet. You can call it Logan's madness, huh? Logan's menagerie. That's a good one. I have a friend that does that with her dog too. She can actually talk to her dog through her phone. She's shown me it a couple times where the dog will be laying on the couch. You're looking at a live feed on her phone, and she'll call out the dog's name. And the dog will perk up, and it's funny. Boy, it's just been all sorts of fun over at Logan's house, huh? Yeah, moves are big. It's a lot of work. It took me like a year to really get this place unpacked. Yeah, probably a good thing, Logan. I'm curious to know what big man medicine is. Maybe it's vodka. I'm not a discriminator, Gene. Yeah, any of the above. I'm still at Disney's credit union. I'm not really impressed with them. I mean, I don't really see that much of a difference. What are you looking at? We're getting to the bottom of the barrel here, dude. It's so small, I can't get them out of the tub anymore. Did I just drop one on the floor? You'll get that one later, won't you? You got one right here, but you're looking at the treat jar, aren't you? Ow. You ever heard about not biting the hand that feeds you? Something you might want to look up. Oh, morphine. Okay, I've been trying to figure out where we were going with this. Yeah, you got to get her own channel. No, there's always one, Rhonda. Ironically, between Bite and Nibble, it was always Nibble that was the bold one. She didn't like people, but if you left that door open for 1 second, she's going to be outside, and then Bite will follow her out. Now Bite kind of takes the initiative to check out outside. Sometimes if the door is open, he'll kind of come out and look around. Typical sibling rivalry. I wonder how much of this Bite comprehends. Because I mean, I've taken him out to her grave a couple times. Haven't really eaten a lot of the fudge. Turns out that I made it last Wednesday, which was the last day of my week, and my eating schedule is a little weird during the work week. But we'll probably munch on it this weekend. So Logan's the parent, huh? All right. Yeah, they get accustomed to each other. Like I said, Bite and Nibble were together their entire lives. I mean, I've shown you that picture I have of me holding them when they're 5 weeks old. No, well, I mean, I always just eat 2 meals a day, whether I'm at work or not. But other than that, no, um, it's more free form, if you will, on the weekend. Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Bite was there when Nibble died, so I mean, he was in the room when it happened. So I don't know how much he comprehends because I mean, she kind of slowed down a lot at the end, and just didn't get up and move very much and all that. So what I've been up to out here. Well, see, I don't know how Bite would deal with like losing me or something. Because I mean, I don't know if I was closer. I mean, I'm the one that provides the food, but I wasn't always there either. Nibble always was there. Yeah, that becomes a problem when your dog won't eat dog food. I think Jordan kind of has the same problem with Jaw. Kind of spoils him a little too much with the deli meat and stuff like that. Yeah, well, I guess sometimes our pets just move on. It's funny though how that can happen. Because you hear all the time, about the pets that get left behind. That kind of stuff can be kind of a fun treat for them, but I don't know how good it is for them to be eating like that all the time, especially when they're sedentary like this guy. I've been hearing about the fires. In fact, they're talking about how Texas is going to get kind of a one-two punch from the fires coming down from Canada, and apparently there's Saharan sand that's coming across the ocean. It's about to make our skies really hazy for the next couple of days. Hey, Mark. I'm usually pretty adventuresome with trying new things, but yeah, nope, I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun right now with all the fires. I remember that though. I remember that in California. We had fires all the time and kind of around where I lived. I was kind of up in the hills a little bit in Orange County, and so you get brush fires from time to time, especially when the Santa Ana winds blew. What the heck happened to the screen there? Hang on. I just realized that they were not showing Matt's videos anymore. We got some white screen up here. Can't have that. Nobody wants to see that. That's not what you paid for. That's the worst when somebody intentionally said it. No, no new rocks yet. I'm going to go over to the shop today, so I should have something to show you next week. Rhonda put up or not Rhonda, sorry. Kara sent me a couple pictures of things there. Let me show you what she sent. Let's see, there and here. Okay, here. Okay, this is something she sent. This looks like well, I mean, the black stuff, that looks like tourmaline. I want to see that in person. That looks kind of cool. And this thing, and I was looking at this too, and this was pretty cool too. That's a big chunk of quartz or something. I want to see that in person. But I also saw something that she put on the page, on her own personal page. Let's see if I can pull that up. Okay, that's what I want to do. Let's see. Okay, so that's they do some like jewelry, and that's labradorite. I got some of that, but this is the thing I was looking at here. Look at that thing. Look at the rainbow in that. I definitely want to see that. I may end up taking that home with me if that's still there. She said she had a whole bunch of new things that are really cool. So looking forward to seeing it. I was looking at that too. That's pretty cool. Not so much into this kind of stuff. I think they ruin it when they cut it and shape it like that. A ring with a piece of labradorite shaped like a coffin in case you ever needed one, something like that. And some amber with some bugs in it. Looks like there's something there and something there. I've looked at that too, but I've got a piece of that's what kyanite, I think, is what they call that. Yeah, kyanite, and I got a piece of kyanite. So yeah, so that's some of the things I'm looking forward to seeing today. Some pretty stuff. Mom walks away and Logan takes over again. So what do you want to talk about, Logan? I missed you too, Logan. We all did. It's been a few weeks. We've been wondering, where's Rhonda? Where's Logan? Where's Charlotte? Where's Jessica? And all the critters. You grabbed it when she's drinking tea. All right. Anything you got to do to distract. You went on a train. That sounds like I love trains. If there was a way that I could like, I've talked about going on to like some national parks. If there was a way that I could take the train to a national park, that would be awesome. Because it's so much fun. Just I when I drove to California a couple times and back from California a couple times, I actually really enjoyed the trip because it's just fun looking at the country. It's a pretty place. Yeah, trains are fun. We don't really have a lot of non-commercial railroading here. So mommy's a teetotaler, huh? Yeah, I guess rescue dogs, or not rescue dogs, service dogs require a lot of training. I guess I've heard that. They got to be able to deal with all sorts of situations. We had there were similar things that happened with the horses at Disneyland. It wasn't uncommon when we'd have a night parade that there'd actually be a horse backstage because they want to get kind of the horse used to all the strange things that sometimes happen at Disneyland. So that was always kind of fun. We got to interact with the horses. Yeah, I've heard that you can't pet a service dog. Jessica has all sorts of interesting pets, doesn't she? Yeah, I'm not a coffee or a tea drinker. I gave up caffeine about 10 years ago. Don't even miss it. That is pretty lucky, Logan. Caffeine doesn't work on me. It makes me sleepy. And the second I realized I wasn't getting anything out of it, and I started thinking about all the people say it's not really that good for you. So I said, whatever. I don't like it. I don't get anything from it. It's not really that good for me. Why am I doing it? And now I can't even taste. I can't even stand the taste of a Coke or a Pepsi. That used to be kind of my go-to thing. I don't really miss it. I mean, like I said, it didn't do anything for me, so there was no reason to do it. Never had one of those monster drinks or any of that Red Bull, any of that stuff. I still like soda, but I'll drink like a Sprite or a Sierra Mist or something like that. So Charlotte drinks oat crap, huh? I didn't know there was anything called that. No, I've never heard of that, Gene. I don't know. I tend to not go the sugar-free route either. Anything diet, I'm not interested in it. I've never tasted anything that's supposedly diet that I think tastes good. It smells bad. Okay. Does it taste the same? Because see, a lot of the artificial sweeteners that they use, I can taste it. It tastes chemicals. Has an odd aftertaste that I can't stand. Yeah, the only problem is 5 years now from now, 10 years from now, they're going to say, "Oh, that chemical that tastes like sugar gives you cancer" or something like that. I'll stick with the original stuff. Jeez, I got like a little spot on my glasses here. It's driving me crazy. That better? Yeah, I think I got it. Can't leave things on the counter, man. That's just not cool. Of course, it wasn't you. It never was you. You don't ever do anything wrong, do you, Logan? You're the perfect child. And anything anyone else says is a lie, right? Well, I guess that's the halfway mark of the live stream. Yeah, I find that's the case too, Gene. A lot of times people say um, that they can't taste the chemical taste of this particular artificial sweetener. I taste it, it's like, oh yes, I can taste it. I heard about the kitten spilling paint. It wasn't was that last week? I thought that was a couple weeks ago. Heard about the big mess of yeah. I could just see that too. No, I think that was about normal for the clock. Maybe sometimes when I just shut up and let it happen, it sounds louder than it actually is. I mean, that's the longest it goes because that was noon, so it chimed 12 times. You grew taller too? What? Because the kitten spilled paint? I mean, at this stage in your life, you should be growing taller anyway, right? I'm just glad I stopped growing here. I wouldn't be able to fit in my house. You're bigger than Charlotte now. That's cool. Remember those pictures I saw with you? You were both tiny. Yeah, I got my dad's cuckoo clock. In fact, I gotta move it today. It's a 7 day clock, so you wind it up, it'll run for 7 days. But I don't have it high enough off the ground, so at some point in the middle of the night, on Sunday morning or Saturday night, the weight hits the ground, and then the clock stops keeping time. So I got to raise it up so the weight doesn't hit the ground. My dad got his from Germany too. You have a watch? I used to be a watch wearer. By the time I got the cell phone, it didn't seem to make a lot of sense anymore. Oh, you saw my new computer, didn't you, Logan? Yeah, that's my new monster. The Beast. Oh, okay. All right. That's probably a good thing for your mom to be able to know where you are. I got to find some more stuff for the wall here. I had to rearrange everything after the old desk went out. And now I got like some open spaces here that I got to fill in. That's okay. It'll happen. What did you do at your friend's house, Logan? You got an iPad. That's good. It's amazing how the kids embrace the technology, huh? We never had iPads when I was a kid. We had a pad of paper. That was it. We made paper airplanes out of it. I painted my house once in California. The HOA said we had to do it. And I wasn't going to pay $3,000 I didn't have to paint the house. So my parents got me a paint sprayer once for my birthday, and I just bought the paint and did it myself. Took me a month to get it done, but at the end, I think it turned out pretty good. I actually had there were like 3 or 4 painters that were kind of doing all the houses in the community, and I had one of them come up to me and said that they thought I did a good job. So that's probably a good idea, Logan. It's probably too early to have a phone. I have a respect for heights. I'm not afraid of them. Yeah, right. Exactly, Mark. My dad got a computer when I was in college. It was like an Apple IIe. That was my first real exposure with a computer. And then I got my first one probably about 1987. Now they're all over the house because there's that one there, there's that one there, or whatever there. I'm broadcasting on one. There's the other one, the media center. There's one back in the guest bedroom. Yeah, I got more computers in this place than I know what to do with. Yeah, I remember passing notes. Well, add to that, I have an old laptop and I have my dad's laptop. So yeah, there's computers all over the place in here. A couple I just put in deep packet, deep storage. We had encyclopedias for the library. fact, I still have my encyclopedias. Of course you did, Gene. I mean, that's what I would do. My first personal exposure with a computer was when I had one for work. We used to, when I was working making CDs, we used to have this um, product that we made that was exclusive to our company called Image Disk, where we would encode images onto the recordable part of a CD. And that was all driven by a computer. That was my first exposure with Windows too. And, I did like word processing stuff and that kind of stuff, a little bit of, paint shop and stuff like that. This was, before email and internet and any of that stuff, but that was what I did. And it just kind of went from there. You mean blowing the stuff out of the inside? I would do that every 6 months. That's the biggest enemy of your computer because eventually that all that stuff in there gets into the fans and it seizes up the fans and then your computer overheats. That's usually what kills the computer. So I would get in there once every 6 months or so. You'll do fine that way. That is kind of funny, Logan. At least Google can tell you about encyclopedias. I bet you the encyclopedia can't tell you anything about Google. I mean, I guess I played with some like blueprint type software, but not a whole lot. Google tells your jokes. What's one of the funny jokes that Google's told you? I remember a funny joke you told me a while ago. Want to hear a dirty joke? A white dog fell in the mud. Does he call it Dave? Or no, does he call it Hal? I mean, open the pod doors, Hal. It's an old dad joke, huh? I like old dad jokes. Had her robots eat guacamole with a computer chip. Who is that? Who's Hal? I don't know. Maybe your dad is funny. Sometimes dad's not being funny is the funniest part of all. Right, Bite? You seem pretty certain of that. Meow. Well, that was an aborted jump onto the couch. He was about to do it, and he got his front feet up there and said, "Nope, nope." Meow. Yeah, there was a second attempt, and it was a success. I don't think Bite would know what to do with a mouse. Never had to figure it out, though, have you? It's just those chameleons that get in the house. You don't know what to make of them. Or the time that big tarantula got in the house. I didn't even know it was there until Bite and Nibble were like stalking it. Charlotte says, "You're boring." You're not boring, Logan. There's been a lot of news going on about the Goonies lately. It's a good movie if you've ever seen it. Yeah, I hope his scar gets better too. That one doesn't sound like it was a very fun scar. It'll be a great story someday. Get rid of the cat fur here. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun, Logan. I had the fire department show up at my house one year for Halloween. Turns out the neighbor next door to me was concerned that the tiki torch that I had that was 2 feet from her house, that little 4 inch tall flame was going to set her house on fire. So she called the fire department and the police. Mommy likes firemen. Does daddy know that? It's like having two Rondas here at once. They're tag teaming us. Oh, I didn't know it was in the same town as Short Circuit in Kindergarten Cop. That's interesting. I guess I kind of the I never saw Kindergarten Cop, but I've seen the other two, and I guess they do kind of sort of have kind of the same feel to them. Yeah, I don't know. It's allergies. There's just something in my sinuses that kind of tickling right now. Thank you, Bub D. I'm glad you watch. You don't have to comment. That's fine. I'm glad you stopped in. Yeah, I have the other two on DVD. I never saw Kindergarten Cop. I guess it was probably out around the time that I wasn't kind of seeing movies. Oh yeah, they filmed the TV show Fixer Uppers here in Waco, in and around. It's funny now. You watch some of those videos, some of those shows. It's like, oh, I know where that is. Oh, I know where that is. Why not? I haven't actually seen if there's any ones where they fixed up a house in or around here. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. Good talking to you. I guess I have heard that it's Astoria. I guess one of the things that's been popping up on my Facebook page a lot lately is like filming locations. I guess they've made the connection that between me and filming locations. So all of a sudden, I'll see a photo of some place that of a scene from the movie, and then they'll show it, in real life. Yeah, there's certain towns and cities and locations that really try and encourage filming in the area. And Canada's a lot of people film things in Canada. Yeah, there goes Bite. Bite has left the building. Yeah, you got to spend less money on lighting, right? That's pretty funny. Great place to film. Just take a bath every day. I'm kind of hoping Dr. Susan will pop in again. She was here last week just for a few minutes. She popped in right at the end. Hadn't seen her in a long time. It's funny how we all kind of become old friends, and then all of a sudden, you're not here for a while. It's like we wonder, like a family member who suddenly just goes off the radar. Yeah, it sounds like something that Adam the Woo would probably get involved in. Truth is, I haven't watched Adam the Woo in a long time. Haven't seen Pegtooth in a while either. You're right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just boring and people get bored after a while. That was a weird story about that Rush shooting. I think there should have been some criminal liability for it just because of gross incompetence. just because the implications involved. If I had a gun, there was a real gun being used with a prop, I want to make sure I know how to use that thing well enough to verify that it's empty. I guess I'm really lucky at work. I like my boss. I get along well with my boss. It's funny what my boss's boss recently flipped with another boss's boss, and they just did kind of a lateral transition where they switched places. And that guy, wanted to kind of meet all the leadership in kind of a one-on-one meeting. So he called me into his office once and was talking about, some of the things and that were going on and asking, where I wanted to go in the future. And I said, I don't really want to go anywhere right now. I kind of like what I'm doing. So I don't know. I told him about how I was treated at Disney, and I said, maybe the thing is just it's really nice to feel appreciated because I never got any of that at Disney. Yeah, that's possibly true, Mark. Although I do got to admit, I'm kind of boring. But that armory officer or whatever on the Rust set, that person, first off, if you're going to use a gun as a prop, you don't ever put bullets in it. Apparently, they were playing with it with real bullets in it, and somebody didn't clear it, and she should have cleared it when she handed it to Alec, and Alec should have verified that it was empty. It's not hard to do that. Well, I mean, 5 years, I'm getting to the point where I'm getting close to retirement age. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll be here, if I'll be working 5 years from now or not. Just kind of depends on what the situation looks like. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I see myself in your job. No, that might not be a good answer either. Yeah, my father wasn't, but I still had a serious respect for firearms. They are not toys. You got to treat it like you treat any object that's dangerous. And some people just aren't up to it. I always loved how actors like Alec Baldwin though are so anti-gun, but then they're just completely irresponsible when they actually handle one. And they don't mind having them if they're going to make some money from it. Like I said, it's just nice to have a boss that says thank you once in a while, pats you on the back, says you did a good job, thanks you for your hard work. Geez, is there anything that hasn't happened to you, Rhonda? Holy cow. Oh, buckshot? Okay. I guess that's a little different. It still sucks, Rhonda. This whole topic is going to probably trigger YouTube at some point. I'll probably get this video demonetized. They don't like you talking about guns. So let's talk about guns. Like I said, we're supposed to be kind of hazy here from African sand. I guess Sahara Desert sand gets picked up by the wind, carried across the ocean, and supposed to result in hazy skies here. But I've seen what that looks like. There's places when we had the fires in California, the sky would be red. That's got to be pretty embarrassing. You shoot yourself in the foot. I mean, that's almost a joke. Is your brother shot you? That's funny. Was it intentional? You said it was an accident. I don't know. Was it accidentally intentional? I'm sorry about that, Rhonda. Yeah, yeah. Let's change the subject. Enough depression for the day. Well, hopefully we're gonna get a little dry weather. I don't know if it's gonna happen that much. We're supposed to get some rain, but I'd like to get out in the back and keep working on the planter a little bit. That's one of those things you do it a little bit at a time, and then it isn't as big of a job. I went over to Home Depot, I think last weekend, and got some new bricks. So I'm ready to do the next quarter of the circle. It's coming together. I think it's going to be cool when it's done, but that's a ways off. I like a good long term project though. It's fun to be able to have something to do just every once in a while. You're making new cupboard doors for the kitchen? Huh. Okay. Never done the tower fans. No. I got just a circular fan I use in the garage, and of course I got the swamp cooler, and of course the AC, ceiling fans. It's amazing how well the ceiling fans do keeping the house nice and cool. I attached that rope chair to the underside of my patio cover. That's actually kind of fun, just sitting out there and watching the yard. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was Tinkerbell on the ceiling. Kind of psychedelic, isn't it? I've seen those tables that have the barbecue pit in the, or the fire pit in the middle. Those are kind of cool. All right, we're coming to the end here. Time for a trip to the rock store, you think? Hey, Jeff. Oh, yeah, that's another person we haven't seen in a while. 200 succulents. What are you going to do with 200 succulents? You think I need to do the purple streak thing? This wait, was it this thing? Hold on, let me. So you think I should get this thing? I'm going to take it seriously. Take a look at that because I love the rainbow in that. You know, because a lot of beautiful colors in that. I don't know. It might be one of those things that's a little too processed for me, but we'll see. But I definitely want to look at these things too. I think that's just tourmaline and quartz, but it almost looks like the tourmaline's got kind of a green tint to it. So that's kind of cool. I have a little bit of green tourmaline, and then there's that piece. Those are both pretty cool. But I like the fact that she sends me photos of different things she has. Okay, stop that. Thanks for stopping in, Mark. Always good to see you. I don't know. I'll have to figure out exactly what some of that stuff is. I always ask Kara to send me like little post-it notes telling me what it is because I want to have, I want to be able to identify everything. We're supposed to start getting it today, Jeff. I haven't seen a whole lot yet, but yeah, I can imagine it'd be hitting you too. But I've been hearing about it for a couple of days. I don't know. I don't know if it looks that hazy out right now. Actually, let me run outside and take a look. See if it looks hazy. Yeah, it does look a little hazy out there, so we may get it, maybe getting it now. It's supposed to be here today, so part of the fun. Spaghetti sounds good. I might do that for dinner tonight. Got to start working on some fudge too. I guess Jeff's doing all right. He's working on another tractor again. Is it 4? I thought it was 3. Wow. I got an old push mower to give you. Used to use it in California. It hasn't been running since. I've seen some of Rhonda's blankets. 1,100 bucks. That's decent money. Yes, it is. 'What are you gonna do with all those tractors? You're gonna start a museum, it sounds like. I collect rocks, you collect tractors. Thanks for stopping in, Rhonda. Good talking to you. Kind of wish Susan showed up, but that's what happens. Oh, speak of the devil. There she is. See, I should have said her name a little earlier. She would have popped in here. Yeah, that's all we do here, Susan, is talk smack. I know everybody's here right now. Sounds like Jeff's spending all his time on tractors. Yeah, it's good when Jeff shows up. I know he's kind of a renaissance man, isn't he, Susan? That should be the title of his autobiography: "Cooking Tractors and Saving Souls." Is there anything that better summarizes Jeff than that? He has his moments, doesn't he? I can see you down there. You gonna come up for the last couple minutes of the live stream? Huh? Or are you just gonna sit there and meow at me? You were here at the beginning, you were here at the middle, you ought to come up here for the end. I know, I think I did Elvis's lasagna, didn't I, at one point? That was pretty good, actually. That's someone else who hasn't stopped by in a while, Elvis Presley. You're kind of going through the list of like, fun people that haven't seen in a while. Is Peg Tooth? Haven't seen Peg Tooth in a while. I haven't really thought about any vacation plans, but one of these days I'm gonna maybe just get out and drive around. Maybe take a couple days off of work and just see where the road takes me. I've often thought I'd like to do just get out and look for historical markers because I see them. You see them on the side of the road all over the place. It'd be fun just to kind of drive along the roads and stop at each one of them, read them, see what they are, and see what happened. I've been thinking about doing something like that. I do want to go to San Antonio at some point. There's some cool stuff there. Yeah, Florida vacation would be fun too. Just staying away from Disney. Yeah, just saying right off the bat. Yeah, have to find something that'll be interesting to both of us. I don't know, good hiking places in Florida. I'm sure there are. Be fun to go down to the Everglades. Well, if it's like Texas, it probably already is hot. Yeah, we're supposed to be. What is it? It's saying 91. I don't believe it's 91 because I was outside. It's really hot and humid. We've been on Route 66. I think. Let's see. What was it we were doing? I don't think it was when we were driving here. I don't know. I remember doing it though. It might have been when we drove to Texas together. I got to admit, I've never been to Vermont. I think the furthest north I've ever been is New York, and I only flew through New York. Oh, lake's a good place to be on a warm day. By the way, he's with us. We have a nice lake here in Waco too. Yeah, everyone have a good week. Thanks for stopping in, Jeff. I've never been in Lake Waco. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of fun. I know the local Cabela sells kayaks, and I think it might be fun to get a kayak and go kayaking on the lake. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably wrap this one up too. We're getting close to the end here. I've hit my 2 hour mark, and I kind of want to go over to the rock shop today and see if they got anything new, because they been advertising all week that they got all sorts of new fun stuff, and want to get there before it's all gone. So I think we're going to wrap this one up. So thanks, everyone. Good talking to everyone. Pick this up again next week. And that is it, I think. Thank you, everyone. Good night.